Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Cosmic Culture. I'm sure it was a late night for a lot of you, as we were all sporadically trying to get our Spider-Man No Way Home tickets. I did eventually get mine. It was very late, and I was definitely stressed out and worried that I wasn't going to, but I managed to get them at a theater not too far away from my house. Let me know in the comment section down below if you got your tickets and how far you're going to have to drive in order to get to it. I saw on Twitter somebody was going 40 minutes outside of New York where they lived, because that was the only theater that still had tickets available. So let me know. It was a lot of work, but here we are. We are definitely in the Spider-Man Endgame now. And today we have a video that looks towards the future of Spider-Man. And I know recently there have been a lot of questions about Tom Holland's future and Spider-Man's future in the MCU. Will he be continuing? Will he not be? And he himself has teased that he's not sure, and that he doesn't know if he wants to be Spider-Man for much longer. With aspirations to be James Bond and a huge actor, maybe even one of the greatest actors of all time, these are his goals, and he doesn't think he can achieve that by only being Spider-Man. However, we're hearing today from executive producer Amy Pascal that he will be returning in the MCU. We'll go over the full quote and what that might mean moving forward in today's video. Only a couple days left if you'd like to enter our giveaway for this Spider-Man collectible figure. All you need to do is subscribe to this channel, Cosmic Culture, and subscribe to the Cosmic Wonder. We'll be picking a random comment on one of our videos in the month of November, so good luck to you guys, and let's jump into this awesome news. So whether or not Tom Holland is aware, because like I mentioned, he has said several times he's not sure if he wants to move forward, or maybe he was just trying to tease us a little bit, or maybe he's recently signed a new contract deal with Sony and Disney. But this is a quote coming from Amy Pascal. This is not the last movie that we are going to make with Marvel. This is not the last Spider-Man movie. We are getting ready to make the next Spider-Man movie with Tom Holland and Marvel. It just isn't part of... We're thinking of this as 3 films, and now we're going to go on to the next 3. This is not the last of our MCU movies, Pascal said. She continued by saying, Marvel and Sony are going to keep going together as partners. Now, the nice thing about this quote is it is not vague at all. We know exactly what we should be expecting from Sony, what we should be expecting from Disney, and what we should be expecting from Spider-Man. For starters, Sony and Disney are going to continue working together. Now, that could mean a lot of different things, a Miles Morales movie, a Sinister Six movie, but she goes even further to say we are going to continue on with Tom Holland in the MCU. And then she continues on even further to say we've done these 3, we're going to do the next 3. Now, we've heard rumors about this idea and how it was coming into the fold that there's going to be the Homecoming trilogy, the Far From Home, the No Way Home. But moving forward, if Tom Holland is involved, which it looks like he's going to be, it's going to be a completely new Spider-Man. A whole new trilogy, a whole new feeling. It's not going to be Spider-Man never going home, or Spider-Man home on the range. It's going to be Spider-Man, whatever the idea is for this new trilogy, following a new ideology, following a new tone. And I'm going to go ahead and say it's going to be Tom Holland in his college years. I think it goes without saying, and it is full of assumption and understanding, that Sony has a lot to gain by keeping Spider-Man in the MCU. The first Spider-Man movie to make $1 billion was Spider-Man Homecoming, and then obviously moving forward, the gigantic possibilities of Spider-Man have just been amplified to a whole new level. Now, I think for a lot of people, this is a character that they hold relatively dearly in their heart. I think for generations now, Spider-Man has been a fan favorite of kids. But as kids grow into teenagers, teenagers grow into adults, adults turn into dads and moms with responsibility, I don't think that favoritism, that love of Spider-Man ever fades. So we have many, many generations who have this deep adoration for Spider-Man, and it's starting to collect across the generations as we prepare for this film coming out in only a few weeks now. And that excitement is at maximum levels, and you don't need me to tell you that. But with that said, we now know Tom Holland's returning for a new trilogy in the MCU as it's been to this point. A new trilogy with a different perspective, a different viewpoint, and different tones. I think up to this point with the Spider-Man Home Collection, we'll call it, the first 3 movies have had a very light, iridescent feeling to them. That had a lot of classic MCU jokes and gave everybody a boy who was going to be Spider-Man a lot of things to love. However, I think potentially one thing from this Spider-Man that has been missing comparatively to the others is tragedy. Yes, he lost Tony Stark, and that did affect him dearly. We saw that in Spider-Man Far From Home. However, Spider-Man is a character that is plagued with tragic life. This character is doomed to be sad, to suffer loss, and to allow his own selfishness to usually harm him in the long run. So we're going to see, I believe, in Spider-Man No Way Home, a very, very tragic happening. Whether he loses MJ, his aunt, Ned, Happy, all of them, we're going to see something that is going to affect Tom Holland in a way that maybe hadn't before. Even though he was upset that he lost Iron Man, Tony Stark, his Avenger father figure, he wasn't the cause of it. It wasn't his fault. It wasn't because he was trying to help these bad guys become better. It cost the life of his family, of his friends. Tony Stark died saving the MCU like he was always meant to and like he always was going to. However, if MJ dies, if Aunt May dies at the hands of Green Goblin, if Doc Ock takes Ned and throws him off the top of a building, it's going to be Peter Parker's fault. One, because he tampered with the spell and convinced Doctor Strange to do it for him. Two, because he let them out of the prison instead of returning them to die to other Spider-Men, as was their fate. Now, this is going to weigh down on Peter Parker. He's probably going to go into hiding after Spider-Man No Way Home ends, and years later, when he's in his college years, he's going to rebirth into Spider-Man, a new Spider-Man, in this new trilogy. I'm super excited to hear what happens with that, and I think we have to wait to see exactly what to expect until Spider-Man No Way Home comes out in just a few weeks. Following the ending of Spider-Man No Way Home, maybe Doctor Strange's spell works and everybody forgets who Peter Parker is, and Spider-Man can go into hiding for a few years until they're ready to reboot the Spider-Man New trilogy that Amy Pascal is teasing here that Marvel's going to be involved in. It's a perfect formula. It's Spider-Man in the MCU with other heroes in a huge collaboration, and I cannot wait to see what further they're planning on doing. Because as Tom Holland grows up and makes into his college years, becomes that age of Peter Parker from the comics that a lot of us remember, I think we're going to get even deeper into what exactly it does mean to be Peter Parker. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'm excited for another trilogy. Tom Holland has done a fantastic job as Spider-Man, and I think that goes without saying and without doubt. We are about to get the third and final installment of the Home trilogy. And moving forward, we're going to get to see a brand new Tom Holland, a brand new Peter Parker, and a brand new Spider-Man. Can't wait, and I'm excited. Don't forget to subscribe, turn on that notification bell so you don't miss any of our daily uploads, and I'll see you all in the next video right here on Cosmic Culture.